well, my perception of my ability did not match the reality of my ability. And so that is so important because if our perception does not match reality, that's when injury happens. That's when accidents happen. So you always have to be sure that your perception matches your reality, not is this false perception that you have. Um, so I guess I tried to encourage participants to um, always test their perception in a safe environment. That's where you can find out how close is my perception to reality? How far away is it from reality? You don't want to find out the answer to that question while you're out trying to swing on the monkey bars with your child and you can't even raise yourself up. You want to test that perception in a safe environment and then know so that when you go out into the world, um, your perception and your reality match more closely. That was one of the things that, I mentioned the older man who was 91, who had some physical challenges, but so he walked everywhere. One of the ways he was, I think, able to overcome a lot of that was he practiced that walking a lot. He would walk to the grocery store. He had a certain path that he walked. He had a certain direction that he walked. He knew it. And as he walked that path and became familiar with that path, his ability to walk in that path would change based on his age, and he could make it subtle adjustments as he needed to. But it was because he had practiced and he was aware when he was there. He wasn't just mindlessly wandering, not thinking about what he was doing. He was intentional about it. So, so that's what I would say. I would encourage people to not let their false perception keep them from engaging in the reality, but practice that perception, practice your ability in a safe environment, practice at the edge of your ability, push yourself to go as far as you can so that when you are out in your daily life, your perception and reality are more closely aligned.
I like that. And I like that you're emphasizing, testing those abilities, those perceptions, as opposed to just accepting them. Because oftentimes, you're talking about our perceptions being greater than what we think they are, being able to do the monkey bars.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you could have easily said, I'm too old to be doing the monkey bars. I can't do those anymore, and never even try. And so there's got to be that balance between trying to push ourselves to advance or do things that are a little bit more challenging rather than just resigning ourselves to saying, I can't do that. And so we want to test our abilities and do it safely.
And realize that when you're pushing yourself to the edge of your ability, which is absolutely where growth happens, there might be some embarrassing moments. Like I ended up on my behind on the floor, in the dirt on the monkey bars experiment. And, I was like, well, okay, here I am. That was embarrassing. But what did I learn from it? And thankfully, they had that cushiony kind of foam, stuff they have on playgrounds. So I didn't get hurt. Thankfully, my perception though was leading me in a direction that I could have gotten hurt if I hadn't been testing it in an area that was safe and hadn't pushed myself to the limit. Actually, I pushed myself beyond my limit. But yeah, I know it is scary. I mean, it is scary it's hard for me to encourage people to take a risk, but like I said, I think that pushing yourself to that outer limit, that's where growth happens. So I agree with you.
My field's exercise physiology, and I talk often about the overload principle. Whatever area you are attempting to grow in, you don't grow unless you're challenged to a level greater than that to which you were accustomed. And so if you don't try something a little bit harder, and the idea is it just has to be a little bit harder, doesn't have to be extreme, you're going to see growth.
Yeah.
Or you
Say
might
that
fail.
again. Challenge yourself to the level. What did
Greater
you
than
say?
that to which you are accustomed. That's the
Greater than
principle of
that to which
overload.
you are accustomed. Oh, okay. Principle of over. I'm going to write that down.